do this.
Hello, everyone. I am MetroidMaster.
We're good. Yep. JG.
And, real quick.
I just lost.
Yeah, no, Mike. Okay. Okay, and real quick, I want to introduce my couch. Directly behind me, we have.
I'm Keith the Geek,
I'm Ganzion.
and this is our baby Metroid right here.
Say hi to it.
All right, so, good luck. Have
Anyway,
fun.
anyways, so we're doing Metroid Fusion, 80%. We're gonna play on Japanese version. Saves us just 3.5 minutes or so on text. No big deal. As soon as we're ready for countdown, we will. All right. And we're off.
All right. So,
I'll let Kanzion take it away as far as some explanation, hopefully.
all right. So this is Metroid Fusion. Again, sorry for the delay. We had to go all the way from Zebes to the space station. Takes a while, space travel. So pretty much right off the bat, we're gonna get into what I think is the hardest room in the game. So
This is where we reset all our runs.
runs are won and lost in this room.
I won't be resetting.
Oh, beautiful.
I will not.
All right. Well, I think that's basically the run. So, all right. So, this is probably one of the more linear games of the Metroid series. There's a lot of dialogue. There's everywhere you go is basically directed by what's going on in the story. Very, very story-driven as Metroids go. So they're gonna encounter their first enemy. Just need to 2 beam shots. 2 beam shots. There you go.
I can count, I swear.
It is what it is.
I can't grab lodges today.
Neither can I.
I'm gonna go talk to the computer again. This is, well, it's not called Adam, but Samus has named it Adam. Basically barks all of her orders at her. Samus named him after her, I believe, her prior commanding officer, something like that.
Something like that. And this is before some other unmentioned Metroid game came out. So this is where that concept of Adam was introduced. What Metroid Fusion makes up for on the lack of just the open exploration is there's a ton of bosses in here then. And difficulty as far as how much damage each enemy does tends to scale up pretty fast to the point where some of the regular enemies do a lot more damage than the bosses will fight. I think for both runs we're going to do a 4 E-take route today,
Sounds about right.
just for extra safety.
Unless you're willing to be brave. I'm not.
I mean, I'll be fine. I am going to be grabbing a missile check I don't like to grab.
We had a gentleman's agreement that we will be grabbing a missile tank that will be coming up very soon, just to make one of the areas at the beginning of the game more consistent, at least for me, and just keep it more or less fair.
Oh yeah, and for there is no serious time needed, so whenever you have a donation, just hop in whenever.
All right, nothing yet, but I will let you guys know.
The last time we talked to the computer, Adam was telling us that there's all these nasties running around the space station, and we're not quite strong enough to deal with them yet, so he's going to send us some missiles to handle that problem.
I love
And
the
then-
fact that we can just download missiles.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I'd like to download
Convenient.
some food.
Convenient power outage.
Your health and MP are restored, but you're still hungry.
Always.
But would you download a car?
Yes.
I absolutely would.
Absolutely
Give me a
would.
Ferrari. Oh,
I mean, every time we install a racing game, aren't we downloading a lot of cars?
That is true.
Got a point there.
So you start with 10 missiles, but there's 2 missile packs in pretty much this room that are really easy to pick up. Get you up to 20.
like right about here. It's just sitting there.
So coming up is one of the more RNG heavy parts of the game. We have eye doors. Right now it takes 3 missiles to destroy them. It alternates between, or not necessarily alternates, but there's a chance it can be either invulnerable or vulnerable. So You can shoot anywhere from 0 to 4 beams per vulnerability cycle. Got that double.
So it is possible to get double shots on the IA cores if you could get the missiles to overlap each other. It helps mitigate some of that RNG. Unfortunately, it's not a technique I've quite learned yet.
Yep. A lot of the time saving infusion does come from being able to get these double missiles so you don't have to wait out these vulnerability cycles.
And I got a roll.
Oh wow, 2 rolls.
Yeah, so that was Arachnus. If he does his roll, you can't shoot him for a good long while. So every boss in Fusion kind of ends in these little, I think they're called X-cores, that just kind of float around, and you have to shoot them with missiles. And what you saw them do is they're called doubles, which the general gist is you fire 2 missiles so that the X-core kind of collides with both of them at the same time. So they take damage from both missiles on the same frame.
I can't jump today.
Pretty helpful for considering that whenever an X-core takes damage, it's invulnerable for a good, like, 4 or 5 seconds.
Also, you might be noticing sometimes after they jump, they're firing a laser just before they're landing. What that basically does is when Samus jumps, she does the spin animation, and the laser shot gets her out of that animation faster, so she falls onto the ground faster.
It drops her down about a pixel and cancels all vertical momentum. Hey, gotta remember to get the tank, too.
Yep.
You'll also see him, there's a couple instances where shooting to break them out of that spin animation actually extends your jump a little bit, because you kind of hang in the air a little bit, and that's used for a few maneuverability tricks.
And this is our first instance of the SAX, also known as the SAX.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't I just go down that elevator?
No.
No?
No. That was me.
Very spooky.
Oh. And destructive.
I mean, you downloaded missiles. I'm not too suspicious.
Never. So another major part on just some optimizations is the reason why we are shooting at to try to land and push ourselves down that pixel is Samus's movement in the air is roughly half the same speed, or roughly half the speed of just running around. So when we want to go horizontally, we want to make sure we're on the ground as much as possible. If we're not in our speed booster state.
So this is Sector 1. There's going to be 8 atmospheric stabilizers, I believe they're called, that we have to...
5.
Or did I say 8? 5 of them.
It's 5.
Anyway.
We were talking about food, so you said 8.
Yeah. So, we need a lot of missiles to... I think there's 3 missiles per stabilizer to neutralize them. So they picked up that extra missile tank earlier on, because there is an eye door at the end, and if you don't have enough missiles for the eye door after spending them all on the stabilizers, refilling is pretty slow.
So a big thing on the missile management, especially in this sector, is don't get hit. How the drop system works in Fusion. So you see that we have these green X and these yellow X is what they're called. Yellow X gives us health, green gives us missiles. As long as we don't get hit, we'll always get green drops out of that.
These little rhinos, you can actually just shoot diagonally right as you are about to approach them, and the kind of the trajectory of the missile will kind of just curve right into the enemy. You'll see that like more apparently when they reach the boss room. Just beam shots into the stabilizers and get a couple of extra drops. This one's probably my least favorite, because you kind of have to... You can't just start shooting at it off screen, but where that stabilizer is kind of random.
And it also likes to wobble up and down.
Yeah.
So if you mistime your shots, you'll just tank off the edge of it. Out of my way.
I saw MetroidMaster had to do that climb a little differently just because his ammo was a little lower than he would have liked. Basically, he's got like 1,000,000 missiles.
Ah.
As long as I have at least 3 by the eye door, I'm good.
2.
2. 3.
Ah, missed it.
All right. JC's getting really bad eye door luck. That was what, 6?
That was 6, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
But fortunately, it's the last time we only have to do 3 shots. Once we get this upgrade, we can one-shot every single eye door the rest of this game.
Hello? Okay, there we go.
All right, so they just picked up the charge shot. Pretty self-explanatory. You hold down the button, and Samus starts charging a shot.
For some reason, we're not grabbing ledges today.
The nice thing about Fusion, as opposed to, say, Super Metroid, is if you start charging a shot as you enter a door transition, the charge will actually complete as the door transition is happening. So you'll enter the next room with a full charge, regardless of when you started charging it in the previous room.
And also, if you enter as during a transition, if you let go of charge, you will shoot the first frame. Those gates, once we get speed boosted later on, there's going to be some instances where we do want that first frame to be a fire, so we can actually run through a gate non-stop.
And that is all 5 stabilizers.
Just
All right.
about.
We saved the world. I think, maybe.
Probably.
I don't foresee any other problems. You notice both runners kind of get into this habit where once you have charge beam, you pretty much just want to be holding a charge at pretty much all times and just releasing to let your shots go.
Neat. Get another nice conversation with Adam, at which
Sector 2's got trouble.
Imagine playing this on English and the text is about 1.5 times slower, along with more text in general.
get another nice monologue as Samus is talking about her former CO, Adam.
So what we haven't talked about so far is a little bit of the backstory of this particular game. This takes place after Super Metroid, after Metroid 2 and the stuff like that. We go back in the little intro cutscene of the game that we just kind of skipped through. Samus goes back to that same planet as Metroid 2, and then she finds these X-Parasites, which kind of wrecks her suit a lot, so they had to do emergency stuff. And they eventually do a Metroid vaccine, which unfortunately makes Samus vulnerable to ice. But the X-Parasites, though, they have the ability to copy all these enemies and whatever they inhabit.
And they just happened to copy her, which ended up causing this whole incident and why we are here. So, unfortunately, because Samus was given the Metroid vaccine to destroy the X-Parasites that had infected her, she is now vulnerable to the cold, and of course this copy of her has the ice beam.
Was that the story? I thought her armor just hadn't been washed in so long that it literally gained sentience.
That makes sense too.
We can go with that. Whoa, that was close.
Missile?
That double missile shot on that second caterpillar is pretty tricky, especially if it's moving toward you. It can be moving toward you or away from you, and depending which way it's going, the timing is a little bit different.
All right, they just got their first security clearance thing. Basically, it allowed them to open certain doors that they couldn't previously.
Yeah, it's a bit of deviation from previous Metroids where the different color codes used to be like what items you can use to open it. With each door color is just hard locked to specific events in this game.
They're coming up on bombs here. I don't know where that fly guy came from.
Did not wall jump off that deal, but okay, whatever. I've got bombs.
And sort of on that note, there's no real way to kind of sequence break Metroid Fusion. Well, at least in this category. It's called no memory corruption. There was a glitch that was found fairly recently, like in the past year or two, where I couldn't even begin to explain it here. But basically, you can do all sorts of screwing things.
Corrupt the game's memory.
Yeah, memory corruption. It's pretty self-explanatory, I guess.
I mean, it's like before this memory corruption was found, it's like there were some task-only ways so you can try to get to areas where you're not supposed to be, and then the game just gives you random messages if you're not on the right event counter.
So the next boss we're going to be coming up on in a little bit is Zazabi?
Zazabi?
That's how you want to pronounce it, sure. I like to think of it as this game's Fantoon. He's probably the most RNG heavy boss in the run. He's not quite as difficult, but he likes to jump around all over the place if he wants to.
Oh!
And how many times he decides to jump is be anywhere between what you can have as few as 6 and as many as 15 something like
Total, yeah. Yeah.
So if you ever hear a Fusion runner talking about how many beams they got and how many jumps they got, they're basically just units of sadness. That's how we quantify despair.
1 beam.
Alright, let's see how many jumps we get here. 1, 2.
On this phase, there's always one way to jump.
1, 2, 3.
I think that was a 7 jump.
4, 5.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Hi,
5 jumps.
I shot my beam forward instead of down, so I didn't kill him. Oh, I didn't
Once
get that
again,
double.
they're pretty much neck and neck.
Oh! What are doubles? There we go.
Almost perfectly synced right now.
So that got them high jump. It lets them jump higher, as I mean, it's right in the name.
Also gives us jump ball.
Oh yeah, jump ball.
Very
Or
important.
they call it jump ball in this. It's spring ball in Super Metroid.
I don't know, I kind of like jump ball.
It just sounds better.
And so here's going to be our first encounter with Samus's filthy sentient armor.
Whoops, that was a little bit late.
You can't just be like super aggressive and actually just immediately drop down aggro the SAX and do like these really crazy like spring ball jumps past them.
No, it's not.
But,
It's not hard or anything.
I mean, it's pretty spooky.
Yeah.
It's just if you mess it up, that's about
You're
instant
probably
death.
dead.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the only part in the game where SAX, when you get shot with an ice beam, it won't kill you because you'll get frozen. Next time, well, not quite next time, but the time afterwards, the ice beam will one-shot us.
Fun fact, the ice beam literally can't kill you unless you're on 1 HP.
Until we get Varia.
You could be on like 2 HP, and if you get hit with ice beam, it'll put you at 1.
Yeah, it'll just be the super missile that it fires at you
Yeah.
while you're frozen that kills you.
At least in this category. In 100% category, you'll have 4 retakes at this point, and then you'll be able to survive the ice beam and a super missile. And then that's how we skip SAX and that.
So now we're going to Sector 4 because Sector 3, what the heck's that?
Because we can count.
If you know anything about patterns, you know the next sector, Sector 8.
Yeah. So, Sector 4. So every other sector we've gone to, after the elevator, we go right. This is the only sector where the door goes left from the elevator. They got kind of bored. It's like, okay, we need something that's slightly different. So just throw people off.
That is my favorite useless fact about this game. Sector 4 is the only one you go left.
Something I realized the other week, though, is like, so we get Speed Booster, so we'll talk more about this a tiny bit later on. But we can store our Shine Spark, like, as we go onto these Atom text boxes and text sequences. And then we can store our Spark throughout that. Sector 4 is the first and last sector that we do that particular strat on.
This is probably my favorite sector. There's a lot of like really cool
There's a lot of
speed tech you can do here.
Yeah.
This next room JC's coming up on. Normally you have to get up into this little alcove up there, but you can actually just go through the water above the ceiling.
Yeah, but that takes a while.
Speaking of which, bombs are purposely set to have a long timer.
I don't think it's possible to bomb jump in this, except TAS. Like TAS.
I fell down.
Yeah. It's like the trigger, or what determines whether or not you actually get boosted by a bomb is if you have any velocity. So if you're moving just a tiny bit, you will not get propelled for whatever reason.
Hello? Just having issues breaking blocks today. It's okay.
It happens.
So this is Ceres. Probably the most important thing about this boss is that you might notice that when Samus releases a charge shot, there's kind of a little flare effect that goes around the edge of her cannon, and that actually does damage. So if you can damage Ceres with the charge shot and the flare with a point-blank shot, you can actually kill this guy in 2 rounds.
I didn't get it. I didn't even shoot.
I don't even think you shot, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even shoot. That's bad. That's awful.
But Ceres' first pattern is pretty much always the same, so you just kind of like hang onto the ceiling on the far left and just pop him as soon as it flies up into your face.
How?
Yeah, you don't want to fall in the water.
Oh, you are lying.
Okay, Aaron.
I tried to meet him.
Hey!
Solid 2-round from MetroidMaster.
I'm not even taking advantage of the good patterns. There you go.
Also, Ceres has like some of the best boss music in the game. No sweet spot.
There's my
All right, well, we got the best ability in the game, the Speed Booster. Or at least I think it's the coolest one anyways.
I don't know, it's not jump ball.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
true.
all right, there we go. Got the low height. So there's a fancy little trick that you can do with the speed booster. If you're in a tight space, it's a very quick mash of the A button when you're in a 2-tile space. And you can basically, normally you need about half a tile space to do a Shine Spark where you just kind of launch yourself in any given direction. But if you're quick enough with your A button presses, and I fell into the drink while I was talking, you can basically, while you're still in the air from jumping in a 2-tile space, start a Shine Spark at extremely low height.
I think it's something like if you Shine Spark, I think it's like the frame before you land on the jump or something. You get that really low Shine Spark.
Yep. We're actually getting ready to set up another one.
Hopefully. There we go.
Too high.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, basically you gotta be about a few pixels off the ground in order to get that and clear some of these stuff.
Pretty important that you get these shine sparks on your first try. As you can see, MetroidMaster's fallen a bit behind.
I don't speak Japanese, but I'm pretty sure this cutscene, Adam's saying, "Wait, did I send you to Sector 4? I meant to send you to 3."
So we're gonna fix that and send you there now.
Just because he's a computer doesn't mean he's smart.
Computers just do what you tell them to.
Exactly.
And nothing else.
So, as soon as we get into Sector 3, there's this cute little quirk with Shine Sparks where if you charge up, if you like get your speed up to where you're leaving those echoes behind you, and you run off a ledge, you can still charge a Shine Spark the frame that you touch the ground upon landing. And if they can get that frame perfect Shine Spark, it saves a little bit of time. The first room of Sector 3.
Yep, but if you press down too early, you have to take the long way around.
And too early, it's a nightmare. Too late, it's not a big deal.
You don't fight Nightmare if you do it early. What are you talking about?
You just warp to Sector 5.
It would be interesting as a sequence break.
Sequence breaks in a Metroid game?
Yeah, you know.
Sequence breaks in Bifusion.
Nope. No big deal.
Nice.
Unfortunately, that's not a trick I particularly go for, just out of consistency.
I jumped way too early.
Oh, okay. One little thing with this game is it's a fairly long run, so sometimes runners have gotten confused at, okay, what part of the game am I in?
Yeah.
Particularly in Sector 5, since you visit it at least 3 times.
Yeah, Sector 5 you can easily get lost in because you do visit it, I think 3 times, and you go take a different route every single time you visit it.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good spot. He said he doesn't have to climb that ladder. This is Bob. It's the only missile tank that normally you wouldn't be able to skip because it's just right there in a tunnel. But
Yep. If you
advances in technology.
Yeah. If you manage to skip it, it deletes itself. Good job on shooting that side hopper on my part.
Oh, I'm too early.
So now we got super missiles, which I believe do 3 times the amount of damage a regular missile does. Unless Adam just lies to us.
Really bad luck with those side hoppers.
Wouldn't be the first time Adam lies. I hope I didn't just spoil something.
Now we get to fight Box, everyone's favorite security robot. So this fight's for the most part scripted, provided that you can hit him early enough. Because if he doesn't take damage within the first couple seconds of the fight, he will jump around and pretty much do whatever he wants. And it's hard to get him under control.
Yep, and it's also worth noting they try to keep him as close to the right side of the screen as possible because that's the direction Box exits in.
Yeah, and he does walk very slowly.
Yeah, if you've ever played Pokemon Red and you get encountered by a trainer that's like 8 tiles away, you know what it's like.
So now it's high time we got various suit. Unfortunately, the SAX has been going around destroying all the data rooms, but didn't destroy the one in Sector 6 because I guess Samus wouldn't go there. It's dark. She's scared of the dark.
That's why they put ice in this. Like, she hates cold.
Yep.
No way she can get past these guys.
Well, I mean, Sector 5 actually makes sense. The whole, like, Metroid vaccine, weak to ice, yada yada yada. Sector 6 has no such excuse.
It's dark, so it's cold.
It's dark. It's dark, so it's spooky.
It's spooky. Temperature drops in the dark.
Speaking of spooky, that was a very interesting conversation Adam just had.
And it wasn't even with us.
And we never meet this mysterious person.
We never do we?
Never.
Just a shadowy figure for the entire game.
Oh, it must be Xehanort. Oh, wrong game. In a business suit.
Maybe it's the Nintendo executive that greenlit the development of Metroid Other M.
Ooh. Yeah, this game is shrouded in such mystery for being the first game that actually introduces Samus interacting with anything other than the silence of her helmet the entire time.
All right,
Sector 6 has all these blue X's wandering around, and they're very cold. So they'll do a crap ton of damage if they touch us. I think they do like 81 damage or something. And these guys have 300 max.
Luckily, they can stun the blue X's by shooting them. Before they get the Varia suit, they will be hunted down by these things, so they have to kind of shoot some of them to be able to get through the area safely.
Nice little shortcut there. Don't fall all the way to the bottom. This is a cool little trick. You actually lay this bomb. Oh, never mind.
I missed it. I've been dropping it way too high lately, so even if I do drop it.
Okay. See if MetroidMaster can do it. Oh, JC's just gonna hide in a hole for a while.
Yeah.
This is one of my least favorite parts of this run. It's not actually that dangerous, but it's,
oh no, there's a power bomb.
It's pretty scary to watch. So you have to aggro the SAX so you can get through here quickly. Otherwise, you'd be waiting forever for her to walk away.
This is all what MetroidMaster did in the previous room. He laid the bomb before picking up the energy tank, so you have to wait for the energy tank dialog box to leave the screen. But the bomb timer continues ticking during it, so the bomb actually explodes during the dialog box.
Excuse me. Coming through.
And over on JC's screen, there was an X-Core that just stole the Varia suit data. So this is a little bit of a unique X-Core fight. The other X-Cores have sort of copied the appearance of other species that were taken from the Metroid home planet, but this one's just a core that has a Varia suit on, pretty much.
So I completely forgot that I was out of missiles, so I couldn't R-shoot.
After all that, you'd think Varia suit would just make you like 4 times bigger, but no, it just makes you immune to cold.
Yep, and it makes you a lovely shade of yellow, too.
Oh yeah. So these blue arcs, they think they can hurt me, but they heal me now.
Yeah, they learned their lesson in literally one room. They spend the rest of the game running away from you. This is a cool little spring ball jump.
No doubles, no sweet
Nice.
spot. Oh well.
Mega core kill. These blue floaty guys are the most annoying enemy in the game. They just float around in random patterns, and even shooting them makes them puff out this toxic gas that does damage to you anyway. So like, getting out of Sector 6 is really just a case of dealing with wherever those enemies are.
I get the Sparkinitis. Whoops. So another annoying thing about those puffer enemies is, so where enemies start and each one are exactly the same every single time, most enemies only have 2 different patterns that they can do. Those puffer enemies, on top of puffing out as you damage them, they have 4 different directions and spots they can be in once they start moving. So there's a lot of RNG as far as learning how to react to everything that happens on that.
Yeah, no 2 Sector 6 escapes are alike.
Eh.
Right, so looks like this is the first of, what was it, 3 trips to Sector 5?
Yep.
Trip number 1. We spent an awful long time in Sector 5 and not see many bosses in it.
Yeah, that is actually true, now that I think about it.
There are a ton of fun strats in this sector, though.
Now that we're immune to cold, we might as well use cold, so we're just gonna get some ice missiles.
Funny enough, the only reason that we're using ice missiles is because they think that our body would reject having ice beam for some reason.
This is a Metroid vaccine.
Because video game logic, pretty much.
It's like, oh yeah, so you can't use ice beam because you have the Metroid vaccine. Your body would reject that addition to your suit. And we're like, oh, but ice missiles?
Because it's contained,
I guess.
you don't touch the ice. Or Samus doesn't touch it. That's exactly what's going on right there.
Don't question mission command.
Okay. Guess we'll just do.
One thing I didn't mention in the last boss fight that just happened, as they're gonna be trying to do doubles on all of these cores, but with every upgrade to your missiles, the fire rate and travel speed of your missiles changes, so doubles actually become harder to do as the game progresses. There's some cool waiver manipulation in this room. You just kind of jump straight up and then all of them just charge into the wall at the top.
Yep. Nice morph. Whoops. You saw nothing.
So these are level 3 locks? Yeah.
Yep. Level 3 already. It even tells you right there.
There's a 3 right in the text. This room's a lot of fun to do.
I love this room.
You do it like 1,000 times.
I'll do it slightly different next time around. So this is an important part to have. Charge beam before you enter the door. That way you can get that door out of the way just in time to get a speed booster. It's not as important this time around, but next time around there's going to be some extra enemies in the way that would otherwise require an item that takes a while to use. So we've got ice missiles now. So that kind of makes our missiles not as useful for being able to just keep running without stopping.
Yeah, you can't kill things in one hit with missiles anymore, because anything that normally would kill will instead just freeze them.
Yep. So put them down to 1 HP.
So right here, JC's trying to kind of lure this X-Parasite into that weird plant thing, so he could make it grow up and freeze it, so he can get that speed boost.
If you ever run 100%, there's a whole lot of whole lot of puzzles where it's just luring an X-Parasite to inhabit another monster. There's a pretty tight jump right here. Get around that ceiling.
That shadow that just passed by, don't worry about that. It's not important.
It's irrelevant.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
oh,
it's emergency
I forgot. All right, I need Twitch chat to start spamming emergency and Franker Z. I don't know if you can see that or not, but hopefully you can.
I'm not an expert, but I think that means JC's GameCube is overheating.
It might be. That means I gotta hurry up and beat this round. Beat this game.
I'd say you probably have about 6 minutes until your GameCube explodes.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
Oh boy, they're definitely fulfilling my wish.
And this goes until both emergency sections are over, by the way.
Yeah, so just keep on spamming it. We promise we will not ban you.
I can see chat from here. I can see all the Franker Z's. I'm so happy. I see a Mega Franker Z chat block right there.
I mean, if there's also people who know my chat, Squawker Z's as well, please.
If you like that frame perfect Shine Spark from Sector 3 to 4, do not do it here.
Yep, because we're not quite going the right direction to be able to do something with that. Oops. Wait, I have plenty of missiles. Don't need to do slow strats. Nice fall.
There's all these enemies in this room that can, and like fire jets that can try to knock you off of the ceiling. But if you just hold up, you just stay just hanging on.
Yep.
Pretty simple.
Notice this countdown timer is fairly generous.
I mean, this game came out in what, 2002? I don't think speedrunners existed back then.
I don't know. I think they did. Might have just been too busy playing Doom and Quake.
Probably.
Oh, nice.
Idor never saw it coming. Get it? Because it's
Oh. How?
I think I got that one.
It's never been a thing.
Ooh, they took a dip into the magma. It's very hot. It drains your health quickly, too.
hate to see it.
That was an okay time.
Oh, we were immune to heat. What good is Various Suit if it can't even withstand lava?
You need the liquid suit.
Alright, so JC's got the wide beam now. In Super Metroid it was called Spazer.
Up. Did the wrong strat there.
Doesn't really serve any mechanical purpose other than
Ooh,
makes it easier to hit things, I guess.
another unfortunate fall from MetroidMaster.
You can see a benefit of doing what's called R shooting, which is if you charge up your beam and then press the R button to switch to missiles, your beam shot automatically fires. And there's a little bonus to that. It has pretty much no animation to it. Your beam just kind of instantly comes out, like Samus doesn't stop to shoot or anything. So as JC was kind of climbing along the ceiling, he does an R shoot, and the beam comes out immediately and kills the enemy.
Alright,
without him
emergency
having
is
to
over,
stop.
by the way.
Yep.
What was your time?
For a while, it was, oh my lord, it was something else.
It happens. Oh no.
We got some pretty spooky music coming from the game now. Oh,
I lost it.
hope you like this song, because it plays pretty much throughout the entire game.
At least it's not bad.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's alright.
It's no A Link to the Past bootleg, but it's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah, A Link to the Past bootleg was like some of the best music I've ever heard.
I was not able to catch that. I need to watch that VOD sometime.
It was interesting.
We do also have a YouTube channel where we'll eventually get everything from the marathon, from all tournaments, uploaded to this marathon. You should be able to find that link in the panels down below.
And we do have a $50 donation from Sweebeeps.
Yo.
Yeah,
Thanks,
let's
we
clap
did
for
it.
that.
Sorry, my hands are a little bit tied up.
That
Dang.
did take us to over $2,000 donated over the course of the marathon.
Wow.
Nice.
Yo.
And the comment simply reads, FF4 free enterprise.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping for Kill the Animals, but that'll do.
A little late on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, get your donations in for Save or Kill the Animals for Metroid Fusion. It will not matter, but
The game does not give us a choice.
Yep. So thank you to Sweet Gnome for playing the canon route.
are you sure it was canon? I'm pretty sure this is a non-canon ending.
What cannon route? Well, I'm pretty sure as you go down the elevator, Samus is wondering to herself, "I'm pretty sure I killed those idiots back at ZB's."
They followed her.
Look at the little cute little bird.
Yeah, it took a while. Took a sweet time. So there's a little bit of RNG as far as how fast those animals come out. Sometimes they like to run across to the other side of the screen instead of go out the door.
They're just getting their revenge for most super speedrunners killing them.
I mean, if you killed the animals, you wouldn't have to wait for them at all.
That is true.
This trick's pretty cool. Never mind.
Oh, I guess we did a high five there. Oh well.
You can fall just like right down the middle of all those platforms, and like no offense to JC, but the way you do that trick is you just push nothing. Just don't push any buttons.
You just gotta get lined up first,
Yeah.
which I didn't do.
Come here. Thank you. Oh, all right, we got it.
Hey.
GG.
That shine break, unless you have the proper setup, can be notoriously difficult to time. All right, come on, guys, come on.
Wow, these are slow animals.
2, 3, and the little one, yay!
Baby bird was taking a nap.
Oh, the mini decor.
Look at him run!
We're going back to Sector 5 to get power bombs.
The better version than the Saxes.
Are they better?
I mean, at least ours do more than 20 damage.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe it's that Metroid DNA that protects you.
Or my suit, I don't know.
That is cool shine spark to speed things along. If you like that spark, you'll be seeing the exact same one again a little bit later, except way cooler.
And way more beneficial.
Now we have power bombs. There are 72 power bombs in this game. That is way too many. I have no idea why you would need 72 of them.
I don't even know why we need 10.
How many do we use throughout the run?
Oh, okay, guess I'm skipping that missile pack.
You don't need it. I skipped it.
I usually don't.
Let's see if I can do this right.
Power bomb strat.
Nope, I did it too slow.
What exactly was he going for there?
I was trying to destroy the left wall, and then before that enemy falls off, freeze it with a missile to give yourself a nice flat platform to hop across on.
So that last room JC was doing with the gate that he opened, it's really important that you open that with a first frame shot entering that room. Otherwise, your speed booster run gets canceled, and you have to use a power bomb to kill the little barrier in the way.
And that takes a long time.
It does take a long time. This is my favorite cutscene in the game. This is the computer saying it has important information, but it can't tell you the information now. You have to return to your ship first.
I wonder what it could be.
Or if you're getting somebody a puppy, do you tell them over the phone, or you just surprise them when they get back? Or a kitten.
And I hope the
Or
news
snake,
is
whatever you like.
I hope the news is we got a puppy.
We do have a $20 contribution.
Nice.
Narrowly dodged that ice beam.
All right then. We do have a $20 contribution from the Fizz.
Yo.
Yeah. Comment reading, shoutouts to Andy the True Gamer. Put this toward free enterprise for the next event. A lot of free enterprise love coming in.
So I got a little spooked there. There was like a frozen Ridley, and then it just kind of crumbled to dust. But, I mean, good thing we'll never see him ever again.
Just in time for Halloween, right? So, basically, Adam called you back to the ship just to be like, hey, there's animals on here. Do you care?
That's basically it.
Yep. We just conveniently lost power along the way there, so we have something else to tell us. Thank you, Hannah.
Key hunters in this game are awful. They progressively evolve as the game goes on, and eventually I think they do like over an entire energy tank of damage.
That's only if you hit the singer.
Yeah, they sting you.
Alright, so this first part I want to make sure I keep alive, or else if I get bad eye doors, I'll get shot while waiting for that. Please.
Nothing like getting stuck in an elevator.
Thanks to wide beam. This is Arachnus, or not Arachnus. I just think it's a spider. This is Yakuza. Yakuza is actually vulnerable the moment that the room shakes, I guess, so you can get some free shots in. And he can do 1 to 4 cycles, where he'll just fly around the room. But you can end the cycles early by getting grabbed. So only 2, that's pretty solid. That's phase 1. Now he'll just jump all over the room like an idiot.
He sure does like to spin.
It's like the Black Knight from Monty Python. I don't have any limbs, but I'll still fight you.
I'm invincible.
There we go. Double double.
So, I believe that's the space jump?
It is the space jump. It
Okay.
comes at the cost of you can never wall jump ever again.
Yeah, but
really
fusion wall
tragic.
jumps are bad.
Yeah, so not much of a loss. If you could somehow get items in different order, you could do a single wall jump if you had a screw attack and no space jump. Not sure why.
Yeah, now the key hunters are fully evolved. We get another. This is probably for a casual player, the scariest encounter with SAX. So you do have to do a fair bit of maneuvering while he's chasing you.
And freezing it is pretty much a must.
Yeah. You can hide in that room off to the left, but it's faster to just go down right away. But you do have to kind of be a little careful with your shot, because if you swing and miss with like 2 or 3 missiles, he can be right on top of you real quick.
And the big thing on freezing that SAX is making sure she's not in the middle of a ice beam shot, because you can't get hit by that same ice beam she was getting ready to fire. Oh wow, I didn't clear that.
Hey.
I just noticed the Yakuza spider was giving MetroidMaster a pretty long hug there. Is that variable or?
No,
you
it's just
Just gotta wiggle the D-pad to break out.
wasn't mashing fast enough?
yeah.
It happens.
JC's fighting Notori. There's these 2 flowers that kind of shoot these little spores that could be a nuisance, but if you actually just stand on the far right edge of that platform, the left flower just doesn't do anything.
There we go.
Almost fell into a vial plume there.
That would have been pretty rough. If you thought Samus's suit was dirty already.
Yeah, I would not want to land in a vial plume. Would be very vile. Watch it happen anyway.
I believe we just got the
That's
plasma beam.
Yeah.
So the base damage for Plasma Beam is a bit lower than our White Beam, but its big advantage is, for each frame it's inside an enemy, it does damage. Which also makes our next boss a little bit hard, because it blocks our Plasma Beam after 1 frame. So, fun stuff.
Hello, SAX. Bye, SAX. I said goodbye.
Ooh.
Stay.
That's a scary way to do that.
So something apparently happened in Sector 5, which is probably completely unrelated to that big shadow we saw earlier.
Unrelated. It was from that power outage, so everything melted, I think.
Yeah, now we gotta throw everything out, go back to the store, and
Yeah.
No, you think the what Galactic Federation, I believe? You'd think they'd be able to afford it, but
yeah, they got tight purse strings.
that is a good question.
The MetroidMaster had a little bit of an uncooperative flower. This is Nightmare Spark. I think this is the longest Shine Spark in the Metroid series.
I know.
You cross so many rooms.
Wow. All done.
That was quite impressive.
Was not wanting to give me missiles, nor do I seem to be accurate with. Alright.
Yeah, you want to be careful with your miscounts against these cores, because if you run out, you have to blast it with the laser so until it spits out more of the green X's.
That did not go how it normally goes.
Yeah, fighting some of these pirates underwater can be a bit of a pain.
Dang. Whoops.
So here's Nightmare.
Yep, happy early Halloween. It's a very friendly boss. He starts oozing when you shoot him.
He does have this effect where he makes the gravity, he turns the gravity up really high so that your missiles can't travel, like your missiles get pulled down to the ground, but you can actually just jump up into his hitbox and still get some hits in.
Nightmare?
Quite a lovely face here.
Oh, he's just gonna float around. Yeah.
I lost my X.
Having a bit of a rough time here with this core.
So now JC's got gravity suit, so he's now unaffected by gravity. By gravity, I mean water.
Also turns a lovely shade of purple. We no longer have to look at that yellow nonsense.
It's the eggplant suit.
Yeah. So, after this boss misses me nothing to us.
It's probably my favorite part of the game, lower sector 4. It's just really pretty to look at.
Yeah, this little section is a little bit more dangerous than Nightmare itself. Somehow.
Yeah, everything hits pretty hard here. And you don't really get a convenient health refill until the next boss. You kind of have to play it a little safe around here.
Drop a power bomb just for fun.
Just picked up security level 4. If I remember correctly, I don't think Adam authorized you to do that. Or am I right?
Adam doesn't authorize anything. You just do.
Nothing at all. But Samus is a free spirit. That's why she talks to nobody else in the other games.
Yep. Wow, this eye door luck, man.
They're just not liking me today.
Hey, I got him. There's a fish in the way.
Coming up on a Nightmare myself, I like to affectionately call him Owen Wilson, because every time you hit him, he goes, wow!
It's very impressive firepower.
The fight went pretty smoothly for JC, but if you let Nightmare get out of hand, things can go south really quickly.
It does not take very many hits to kill you.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage. If you get the pattern just right, it's pretty safe, but if not, you risk losing the run right here.
This is diffusion missiles that JC just picked up. Also not authorized. Report you to mission command, sir.
Adam's going to be so upset with us next time he talks.
Just wait till he finds out what we do next.
Spoilers.
I said nothing.
I haven't seen any Metroids in this Metroid game. What's up with that?
Huh.
Interesting. I could swear. Well, what if we? Well, technically we are the Metroid.
We are. We got Metroid blood.
Doesn't that count a bit?
Not really.
It's pretty philosophical.
You mean this isn't Metroid that I'm playing as? Who's running around on the screen?
I think it's
Some
Master Chief.
Chick named
Master Chief.
Samus.
Why isn't she crawling?
No, I think Samus is that's the mean one running around.
Oh, I see. Everything makes so much more sense now.
Oh, I thought that was Mega Man X.
Oh.
Are you sure it wasn't a Doom guy?
Doom guy.
Huh.
From the famous video game?
Where's my BFG?
Another bonus of R shooting. You can continue your space jump. Doesn't break you out of spin.
Oh wow, I'm so full health.
Thankfully, those
I jumped up way
puffers
too early.
were those puffers weren't anywhere near JC, so you could go through those rooms relatively unscathed. Sometimes they can be right in your way. You pretty much just have to freeze them with an ice missile.
Stop shooting me, please. Thank you.
You'll kind of be seeing them just kind of spraying ice missiles in certain directions, just in case the puffers happen to be there.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
Let's see what we can do about that.
No entry without authorization.
I'm gonna give myself some authorization, I bet.
Warning,
I mean, you've been ignoring authorization a lot recently.
Yeah. I got bored.
Alright, so our friend the Box has come back, except this time he is infested with the X-Parasite, so we call him the Xbox.
We're gonna give him the red ring of death.
This fight's
Oh my
actually
gosh.
this fight's actually significantly harder than regular Box because the ceiling is lower, so his jumps can actually just knock you off the top, and the water is electrified, so
At least while the robot's in it.
it can add up pretty poor. It can add up pretty quickly.
Alright, and by defeating Xbox, you get the Connect power-up. I actually don't know which power-up they just got.
Wave beam.
Wave
I
beam.
got wave beam.
Ah, okay.
warning,
This is the authorization I needed.
authorization.
Cool thing with Wave Beam, it goes through solid objects.
Goes through walls and gives you authorization to places you're not supposed to be.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
I had no choice. I was being chased.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
I wonder what's in here.
Whoa!
Are those
Metroids.
Metroids?
Yes.
All the Metroids.
I'm shocked.
We were playing Metroid all this time.
Guess what I'm doing with them?
Metroids in my Metroid game?
I want to see a lineup.
Nonsense. I missed it. Oh, it's
There you go.
This sector will soon be
If you jump through that door transition, all the Metroids just line up for some reason.
60 seconds to isolation lockdown.
Space jump, please.
53. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Again, very generous with the amount of time they give you for this escape sequence.
Yeah, you could have 10 seconds and still be comfortable.
I mean, as long as you can space jump.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do.
Which, as a kid, that was very difficult, you know.
I still have trouble doing space jumps.
A rare moment where Samus has dialogue.
Oh yeah, this is a very long cutscene. If you need to get up and use the restroom, now's the time to do it.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet?
Yeah, the
The time after this.
yeah, I think it's after the next boss. It just goes on forever.
Okay, so you gotta hold it for a little bit longer.
Just a few more minutes. No big deal. We're only like what, hour 8 in?
Adam talks and talks and talks, and then Samus monologues and monologues and monologues.
Hello?
Mother Brain is not in this game.
Coming up on Xbox on MetroidMaster side. Yeah, these golden pirates are coded kind of strangely. They're supposed to take damage when you shoot them from behind, but in actuality, they just take damage if you and the pirate are facing the same direction. Okay, now we got, well, if we can ever get through this door.
3. Alright, 3
Alright,
I-beams.
now we got everybody's favorite boss, noise pollution.
Alright,
This is the best noise ever.
RIP headphone users?
That includes us.
It sounded
Not
fine to
gonna
me.
Okay. That was close. I lived.
Do you have 65 energy at the end
Looks
of
like
that?
Ridley's too
65 energy, yes.
It's
So,
not
little
often the red X doesn't feel beautiful.
Yeah, no, so X cores only give you 4 E-tanks?
Nice stuff.
Yeah. So, for some reason in this game, Ridley gives you the screw attack.
Yeah, it's probably the most iconic Metroid ability, so I guess in a in a way it makes sense, but it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I mean, his tail spins a little bit, I guess.
I mean, if you saw the Super Metroid run,
Wow, those poor rippers had a family.
Oh well. You had to take out the witnesses.
Anyways, when you
Oh.
have the screw attack,
Okay.
spinning becomes a good trick.
I didn't even
I
go
mean,
far
this is
enough for
great.
that.
Those Metroids just killed the SAX, so we're out of danger, right?
well,
We're all good.
except there's like no fewer than 10 SAX aboard.
10?
Yeah.
Exclamation point, question mark?
Something like that.
I mean, Adam said so, so it must be true.
He's
Yeah.
never lied to us before.
Never.
Oh, sorry about the mic bump.
Also remember, Adam did not believe on us. He said we had a 10% survival chance.
That is
Yeah,
true.
when we didn't have missiles.
I'm beginning to think Adam's not very nice.
Yeah, missiles increased it to 20%.
Yeah, Adam's all like, so you know the X divide asexually, so there's no fewer than 10 sacks aboard. And we're like, oh, well, okay. That's a thing.
It is a thing. Oh no.
Yeah, it turns out Metroids were actually very important to the ecosystem on SR388.
So by us destroying them, we just totally messed up the planet's ecosystem, number 1.
If only we could.
Look, the animals are very nice creatures, okay? What do they ever do to you?
The
They suck
JC's
mine.
gonna have a nice bathroom break right here.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. This is the long cutscene.
Unfortunately, this text is not auto, so it's not really much of a break.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, in order to scroll the text as fast as possible, you have to mash through it. So while us viewers might get a break, the runner has to be attentive the whole time.
Come on. Thank you.
I'll pray for your ears.
I'm sure I'll live. Maybe. Idor?
Yo, max I-beams.
Oh
I
man.
hate to see it.
Oh yeah, this. By the way, this is where Samus decides to call the computer Adam.
Alright, here comes Squawker Z!
But yeah, you can kind of see where the just like a couple mistakes and some bad RNG can make a big difference in time. I don't think it's impossible for MetroidMaster to catch up, but it's going to be a little unlikely.
Okay.
I think JC would have to die to SAX.
I mean, that's not impossible.
It could definitely happen.
Or soft lock.
Oh yeah, there is a soft lock. How does the soft lock happen?
So if you kill one of the stages on SAX on the frame, it turns around. It just doesn't take damage anymore.
That's not good.
Okay, maybe pacifist? I don't know.
I think I've had that happen before, and I just didn't
Oh!
thought you could get away without being a murderer.
He had to get all their attention first and then do it right in front of them. It's like, don't mess with me.
Hey guys, look at me, look at me, look at me.
I'm just reveling in the irony that we care about killing the animals, but saving rippers.
Well, rippers are nice. You know, you freeze them and they act as a nice little platform.
They're not even aggressive.
They don't take
They just
time to
kind of
save.
sit there and float.
Yeah, they don't take time to save.
Yeah.
Like rippers need our help. They don't even have opposable thumbs.
He just killed another one.
And another.
Oh man, you murderer!
Well, you know, they're in the way of me going fast, and I have to go fast.
So with some fancy R shooting, you can actually just stun lock SAX.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, and this isn't even SAX's final form, so
Yeah, then he turns into I don't know what the heck
Okay,
that
I was
is.
scared. I almost thought I actually did soft lock right there.
By the way, this climb is the worst.
Yeah,
you
am
so-
I dropping a power bomb?
Oh,
this X-Core is a bit of a sore loser. Once you beat it, it doesn't let you absorb it. It just runs away.
Like that.
it's so rude.
Oh well, 2 doubles. I'm happy with that.
You can hear the X core as it flies away. It's actually taunting you,
Whoops.
saying your body would reject this upgrade.
Alright, now this timer is kind of generous, or you would think anyways.
I mean, you can easily just forget where you are. Like
Yeah.
all the rooms look the same.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, this does lock you out of all the other rooms, so I think you can get like 5 items, 6 items during this countdown.
but yeah, you pretty much just gotta get back to your ship before everything goes. Samus
Get a
just
low
attracts explosions.
Didn't get my spark. Oh well.
You can't get a low height spark there.
All right.
Oh,
where'd
where's
your
the ship?
go?
Hey,
Oh,
Metroid.
Your ship turned into a Metroid.
Shoutouts to Metroid 2.
Wait, I thought we got rid of the Metroids.
So we thought. Also, I'm at the part where the computer actually reveals that he was Adam all along.
What?
Yeah, so they just like uploaded his brain to a computer before he died in the game that we shall not mention, I guess.
Oh wow.
Ooh,
Oh, double shot. Wow.
Yeah, if you are too slow killing the Omega Metroid, it is possible to run out of time while it's dying.
That was the
I've
worst
seen that happen.
Omega fight ever.
The cute thing about well, the time's coming up on JC's end. That's time for him.
Time.
Oh,
Looks like a 118:40:39.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Could have been better. Oh well, I'm happy with that.
All right, and
One of the things you don't notice about the Omega Metroid is that you actually see it kind of like as you're going toward the navigation room to speak with Adam, you can actually see its molting stages just kind of strewn throughout the rooms. Let's see how MetroidMaster's SAX goes.
Unfortunately, I don't have the fast strat down, so I just kind of have to fight it normal. Oh, oh.
And the war of attrition.
ooh, oh,
Uh-oh.
oh. All right, gotta take it a little safe. All right.
This is as fair a fight as you're gonna see.
Oof. Okay.
I was sweating.
All right.
Nice.
Ain't over yet.
Yeah, we still
We
got
got
the
two
second
more.
stage.
Yeah, we got 2 more forms to deal with.
This is one
Alright, there we go.
ugly, ugly dude.
He's gotta be careful with these down shots.
Yeah, those are the animals that we love to kill.
Yep, so Screw Attack is ultra overpowered in this game. It doesn't hurt the X, but it lets you go right through the ice beams without taking damage.
All right,
Alright, get outta here.
MetroidMaster just barely scraped through that fight.
Yeah, I had a run nearly on PB pace once, and I died to the SAX because I missed a charge shot.
Yeah.
Hate to see it happen, but it unfortunately does happen.
Thankfully, his energy doesn't really matter at this point because the first slash from Omega always reduces you to 1, and then you get a full heal from picking up Ice Beam right after. Which, by the way, was not rejected by Samus's genetic makeup.
Makes you wonder,
All you needed was the SAX's blessing.
Yes.
You are now authorized to use ice beams. It's my favorite part
whole-
of Metroid Other M.
The whole time we just needed authorization.
Is there even ice beam in Other M? I forget.
yes.
Okay.
I think. Come on, fight me, hit me.
I mean,
Give
is this
me a
even a real
hug.
video game we're talking about? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was 2010.
The dark days.
The dark days when everybody was making motion controls. Connect required. You are not authorized to use the Xbox One without a Connect.
Oh!
Mm.
Uh-oh.
All right. Hopefully we get a pretty good Omega here.
There we go.
All right.
If you can get in like a good position and you mesh well enough, you can actually kill Omega without
And
ever.
time.
You can actually kill Omega without ever needing to move.
122.
It was a 46.
46. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah. That was a pretty good
Yes,
run.
like, you know you're in the position if you see that ice beam go all the way through Omega X or Omega Metroid without stopping. Anyway, so that was Metroid Fusion. We're going to start the other lovely GBA Metroid pretty soon.
The good one.
Wow, I heard that.
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Some shots over there.
It depends on what you like. Like Metroid Fusion has a lot of fun, difficult bosses, but not so fun mechanics overall. But Metroid Fusion, you get all the tricks.
Fusion's a pretty cool game.
It is. It's really fun. Just very RNG dependent. So,
Fusion has the best bosses because Fusion has the most bosses.
I mean, that is true.
Ugh.
Fusion has the Yakuza Spider and Ceres, which has really amazing music. So I'm gonna try to get my okay.
You're back, Metroid.
All right, thank you. So I'm gonna try to get my in-game time here if we have time, and stick around. We'll see if I can get my redemption arc in Metroid Zero Mission.